Hello, you've caught me playing Ghost of Yotei on a massive projector screen.
And who can blame me? When I encounter once-in-a-generation graphical powerhouses like Ghost of Yotei, I can't help but book the office screening room and allow all 5 of my senses to get launched into orbit. It looks like a movie painting, sounds beautiful, feels so alive in the DualSense, and if you could smell and taste a video game, I imagine Ghost of Yotei would be like a double Michelin star restaurant.
Instead, I'm eating this peppered steak slice while I play, which is a solid substitute.
Playing Ghost of Yotei in this way, on a humongous screen with surround sound while enjoying a meal deal pastry, is a total game changer. Not just in the sense that it amplifies the existing experience, but in that it literally changes the way I play. Because now, rather than doing any quests, I want to spend the entire time just wandering around, gawping at sunsets and messing about in photo mode. And much like this cinema room situation I've contrived for the purposes of this intro, sometimes in games you get a weapon that completely changes the way you play, don't you? Yes, it's just like that.
Here we go then. 7 video game weapons that completely change the game. Oh, yes.
Turn this off now.
Yeah, in a minute.
Let's start with a weapon that completely changes how you play Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, the Easy Gun. If you're not familiar with this, it's because you either didn't collect all 48 species of plants and animals, or you didn't start the game on the very easy difficulty setting.
Hence the Easy Gun, or the EZ gun, as we'd pronounce it in Britain, if we're stubbornly trying to make the joke not work.
It's a single-shot tranquilizer pistol like the MK22, only it doesn't have a magazine. That's not a problem though, because it reloads as fast as the regular tranquilizer pistol. It's also got infinite ammo and a suppressor that doesn't degrade, which makes every enemy encounter and most boss fights a complete walk in the park. Getting all the special non-lethal camos and the big boss rank suddenly seems far more doable when you don't have to worry as much about alerting guards and resource management.
But that's not all the Easy Gun is hiding up its barrel.
The Easy Gun comes with the extra advantages of increasing your camo balance to 80% and lowering the rate at which your stamina decreases. So you basically become a near invisible, never tiring super soldier. The Easy Gun is basically the canonical equivalent of genome therapy before there was genome therapy.
It's like the stealth suit and the bandana all in one. What a weapon!
The second item that completely changes how you play is the up-n-atomizer from GTA Online. Essentially, this is a laser that shoots energy pulses and is modelled on the weapon used by the characters of in-game cartoon series Republican Space Rangers.
Fresh from the war on socialism.
Now, to be honest, despite looking like a prop from a 1950s B-movie, it's not actually that useful as a weapon. Because it shoots energy pulses, it's not particularly dangerous, nor is it accurate at long range, and using it at close range is just as likely to hurt you as it is your target. But what it does do, that in my opinion makes it game-changing, is give you an opportunity to save your vehicles from getting stuck in those positions that only cars in GTA can find themselves in. You know the sort, when your car is upside down, but also somehow trapped in between 2 walls.
Before the up-n-atomizer, this meant game over.
But now you can just shuffle out the object that was once your car door, equip the laser in question, go zap, and get back to illicit activities in the blink of an alien's eye. No ladder to climb up a building, zap, and you're there in a literal flash. Want to annoy someone in the lobby but not kill them, zap, and they're ragdolling around the place unable to recover before you zap them again.
Whoever thought of this is honestly a genius.
The unmaking arrow from Dragon's Dogma 2 is the third weapon that completely changes how you play, and we've spoken about the unrelenting might of this rare item before, but for those of you who are unfamiliar, it's an arrow that upon hitting its target kills them instantly, as if they've just speedrun a parasitic worm infection.
Nasty stuff.
Of course, the game also saves instantly upon firing it, so there's no safe scumming around your bad aim if you miss that all-important shot. the sheer power of the unmaking arrow is not why it's game changing. Yes, it's so strong that no enemy holds any power over you, but there are only 2 in the game available in a single playthrough. 3 if you duplicate it in one of the Sphinx's riddles. So it's not like you can pull one out at any minor inconvenience. No, the reason it changes the game is because it gives you the confidence that there's always a way out of a tricky situation.
It's like a good luck charm. Although not for the enemy it hits, obviously.
It's a security blanket or a nightlight. There's comfort to be found in the knowledge that no matter how bad a boss fight or a troublesome group encounter gets, there's something in your back pocket that can solve the problem for you. And because you know it's so rare and can't be used willy-nilly, it pushes you to fight a few times more before you finally give up. It's genius, really, using gamers' natural hoarding ability in our own favour, assuming you're good enough at the game to find one.
Which I definitely am.
Game-changing weapon number 4 is the briefcase from Hitman World of Assassination. IO Interactive's exquisite murder trilogy is a game filled with bizarre items and unique execution methods that are so much more than just sniping from far away or garroting in a back corridor. But the game is designed that way, and using all the novelty murder weapons is basically just following the rules.
And let's be honest, Hitman's rules are the most fun rules to follow.
One weapon that does change the game, however, is the notorious briefcase. Not something you might consider a weapon at first, more a useful tool for smuggling illegal items into sensitive places. That is, until you decide to lob it at someone and witness firsthand its majestic homing missile properties. The briefcase is the most lethal weapon in the game, tracking targets before thunking them on the head with unerring inevitability. It was so good, in fact, that IO eventually decided to patch out its hilarious homing capabilities.
And to be fair, it isn't terribly realistic.
Luckily for us, though, the briefcase returned with great fanfare in the Best Case Scenario Challenge Pack as the homing briefcase, with an equally brilliant description. Could be used to hide illegal items, but that is clearly beside the point. And it is besides the point, because why bother playing the game properly as a silent assassin when you can be the harbinger of briefcase brutality?
Thank you, IO Interactive.
Video game weapon that completely changes how you play number 5 is actually a buy one get one free entry, although it's technically not because you do have to purchase them separately. It's the Chicago typewriter and infinite launcher from Resident Evil 4. And oh boy, they really are game changers, because there is arguably no feature more game changing than infinite ammo.
That's why you have to wait until at least your second playthrough.
There's nothing cooler than Leon Kennedy in a pinstripe suit laying waste to zombies with an unending stream of bullets fired from a Tommy gun called the Chicago typewriter, before cocking his hat when they're all dead like the 1930s equivalent of a James Bond death pun. The Chicago typewriter turns any situation into a walk in a zombie corpse-strewn park.
It is great, but I like this.
The infinite launcher, unlimited ammo but rockets, meaning you get all the benefits of a never-empty machine gun with added explosions. Not much of a game changer if you already have the Chicago typewriter, but it certainly is cooler.
Although much easier to accidentally kill yourself, which is also quite game-changing, I suppose.
The penultimate video game weapon that completely changes the game is the Rhino from the Ratchet & Clank series, and it does so by doing exactly what it says on the tin. If you weren't aware, Rhino is actually an acronym and stands for
Rip You a New One.
Charming, but also very accurate, because if there is one weapon that's guaranteed to literally and figuratively grab something on your body and tear it so hard it becomes a new version of itself, it would be this gun, or should I say one of these guns, because every Ratchet & Clank game features its own version of the Rhino, including 8 numbered versions, standalone variations and upgraded models. Even in a game full of eccentric weaponry, the Rhino will still surprise and amaze you.
Homing missiles, dark matter lasers, a mech suit made entirely of rocket launchers.
And in Rift Apart, the Rhino 8 shoots portals that allow massive objects from other dimensions to crush practically everything on screen. So yeah, they're pretty powerful. and they change your game. How? Well, any level of tactical approach is rendered obsolete. Why bother carefully sniping a few enemies, then deploying a shield and some turrets to cover you while you stand back with a shotgun, when you can just fire this instead?
Press shoot, everything dies, continue. Easy.
Lastly, we have what might be the most game-changing weapon in any game, the wrench jockey tonic in BioShock. Available from the Cure-All office in the medical pavilion, this relatively early game power-up increases your wrench melee attack power by 350%. Now, for those of us with the inclination to save everything potentially useful until the end of the game, this is the ultimate way to avoid using any ammo.
Literally the perfect ability.
And it gets better. There's actually a more powerful version if you can unlock it. This one can be purchased after completing the second research quest for the bouncers and increases wrench damage by a whopping 550%. You can even stack them, meaning your total wrench damage increase is 550 times...
Flipping loads, basically.
And with this, the entire dynamic of the game changes. No more creeping around corridors or considering the best way to deal with a room full of enemies. Just charging headfirst, Leroy Jenkins style, into a crowd and beating the Adam out of everyone with a souped-up spanner.
Honestly, why would you bother playing any other way?
There you have it, 7 video game weapons that completely change the game. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and let us know in the comments if there's a video game weapon we've missed. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more of these videos every Friday. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
PlayStation